This is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard, and I am back to do another Smash player profile. This time I wanted to do the player MOF. Now, she is one of the best ice climbers right now. I think ice climbers is a really interesting character. I've always liked ice climbers as a non-wobbling character. I remember, ironically, Wobbles had this crazy. I don't think it was combo video. I think it was like a top 10. It might have been like even Matchup Gaming or GR Smash or something like that. But I was just like, wow, this character has so much cool stuff you can do. But usually there's a lot of infinites involved in whatever game you play. Some of them look a little bit more flashy. Uh, and I would say that Ice Climbers has always had some weaknesses with like, Peach and Puff and sometimes a few other characters that are good at breaking up the Ice Climbers pretty well. And it's a very like simple win condition. I think now there's a lot more balance, even though it was like Ice Climbers never really got into that upper echelon. Like Wobbles got second at Evo 2013. Chew was top 10 for a while. Bananas got up there. A few other characters, a few other players here and there. But like people were like, oh, it's not a super top level. Like Slug got top 10. Um, but that was like kind of after Wobbling was banned. And and then of course Nikki. But it was like I feel like the character is not that crazy. It's just like don't get grabbed when you're near the corner, and you're probably fine. Like yeah, the double hits. It's a strong character. Uh, but yeah, I like ice climbers. This player Vigelis moved to my local area. Started doing pretty good with ice climbers. I think it's really interesting because it's not like a guaranteed like auto win, auto loss, but there are some really strong matchups. So I mean, we saw Zane pick up a ice climber uh, in a game against Leffen at LACS. Like ice climbers is deemed to be pretty strong in some characters. But yeah, I'll get into Moth, aka Master of Flavor. Uh, been a Florida ice climber main for a long time now. Entered back in like 2018, 2019, just got started. A few smaller events, traveled to Big House. Uh, but yeah, didn't do anything too crazy. Um, 49th at Riptide. I beat Golden. Like, okay, that's solid. But nothing too notable. 2022 got a win on Komodo. Pretty decent there. Fourth at Tipped Off, like the first one back. Pretty good. 2023, because like didn't do that great here. I think it might have been DQ. Didn't do that great at some of these 2022 events. Got Golden got the run back, switching to Falcon there. Another Komodo win. So like doing pretty good locally in Florida. If you want to look at Florida rankings, I think Florida rankings. South Florida got top two by then. Which South Florida was known to not be as strong as like Central Florida. But ninth at DreamHack Atlanta, beating Pog Epic Gamer and Zasa. Pog Epic Gamer was I think close to being top 100 at the time. But yeah, and then started doing pretty well. Top 8 at Gatorland. Uh, not that crazy. But then I think did pretty good at Combo Breaker, beating Reach, Pleba, Toph, Seal. Like, did fine. But then Tipped Off 14 was crazy. Look at these upset factors. So, beat Paladin, pretty close. Beat Hacks. But also right before, I guess this is kind of out of order, but top 64, 3-0 J-Mook. Now, Ice Climbers is known as one of the best characters against Sheik. I think that people agree that like Fox, Puff, and Ice Climbers all do pretty well against Sheik. But like Ice Climbers are like I think in human error factoring it in is really strong because Sopo has a chain grab and you can also do these double hits. Uh, Predictable recovery, you can do kind of stuff there to where like if they have the poof on stage, you can potentially get a grab and kill them. Like really strong. So really good wins, especially Jmook. Out to factor 9. I mean, this was when Jmook was like beating Zayn all the time, like doing really really strong. Lost to Aklo Kadoran for 9th. Still very good. These are both top 10 level players. And then, didn't do too hot as some of these. Lost, got an Akir win, lost to Wizrobe. And Vu, which I think is also South Florida. So it's like, okay, people are going to have that experience. Some more Sheik wins. Like Ice Climbers, you can get some Sheik wins for sure. Didn't do that great at Warehouse War. Lost to Bobby. Here and there, but I would say as we start, like, if you notice, MOF enters a ton. 446 events, 261 of which are offline, most of them post-COVID. So tons of entering, got 5th at Let's Make Moves, got some more Puff wins. So J-Chew, J-Cam, and then also Komodo and Dawson lost to some Falcons. Falcon is, I'd say, a decent character, breaking him up, especially without wobbling. But beat Dawson and Komodo again. So pretty good at the Puff matchup. Now we've seen Nikki beat HBox before. I don't think MOF has has beaten HBox yet. But some really good stuff. I mean, beat Crudo, beat Akir twice, with Akir going more Doc than DK, I think. Interesting there. Lost to Panda. Panda's very good. Also in Florida as well. Sometimes loses. Lost to JKJ. Got some NC wins, but then lost to B-Bats. It's going to happen. Peach is pretty good in the matchup. Actually lost to Prof here. But as we keep going, 33rd Genesis, nothing too crazy. Beat Goody and Squid, Asashi. Solid. But just really started kind of like spamming events. 49th at Gamo. Not amazing. Kind of got upset there. Won a tri-point over Ben. That's pretty cool. And then the next tipped off. Oh, also got 5th at Out of the Blue. Beating Max in Blue. Fluid, Danny Phantom. Lost to Dawson to get back. And Ben won in that matchup. I know Ben sometimes goes Luigi against Ice Climbers. I'm not sure if this was what happened. But yeah, and then, traveling some, going up to like Chicago and Genesis, I think sometimes like would travel a decent amount. But then got another top 16 performance at Tipped Off, beating Moki. Now I think like if you think about, okay, you beat a few good Foxes, you beat a top Sheik, sure. Got the run back on Bobby, and then beat Moki. Moki was the 7th seed and then would eventually get number 4. Moki was very good. Now, Moki kind of farmed Amsa, but, I mean, that's a good player to beat. Lost to Wizrobe again, lost to Salt. So, Falcon seems to be a bit of a struggle. Also beat Dreffen. It doesn't hurt to have a Sheik in your path. But, yeah, 5th at CEO, not too strong. Did do all right. I mean, Komodo, JHU, Captain G, OG Kid, like this is not bad. Losing to Panda and Wizrobe, that's fine. Panda has been pretty consistently top 25. Warehouse War didn't go too great, but losing to Zamu, not bad. I think Zamu had lost earlier. At CCC, lost to Slow King and Dawson. Like, yeah, it happens sometimes. Beat Ossify, pretty solid. And then there's one more big event. that I'm looking for. Like this one, lost to Wevens. Samus is known to be a decent character at breaking him up. Got ninth at Now Invitational. Not that great. Did beat Sunsei. Beat Jmook again. So got some good wins here. Agents, not too bad there. Got a DQ win against Mango because I think Mango was just kind of not feeling it. 7th at Plat Fight, lost to Wevens again. It happens. Let's see, where is that one event? Nouns Bowl. So, interestingly enough, got some wins, beat a Luigi, beat a couple DKs, then lost to Jmook. Which is like, that's pretty good for Jmook because Ice Climbers Sheik is very favored in Ice Climbers, especially with recent results. Then beat Justice, beat Crudo, beat Magi, beat Aklo, beat Jmook in the run back. And this is also when Nikki was in. Nikki and Joshman were both part of the top 4. So it was Fox Ice Climbers, Fox Ice Climbers. Because Joshman had beaten Cody. So potentially even could have gone even farther. IC Dittos are very strange. I don't know how that would go necessarily. But MOF against Joshman would have been pretty interesting to see here. Had to run into Cody. No shame there. But just has a lot of really good wins. I would say that has more notable Fox wins. Being Jmook 3 times, super good. But has more of a variety of Fox wins than any other character. Does have a Wizrobe win. Forget where this was at. Was this at Tipped Off as well? Is that CEO? That's right. Okay. So CEO 2025 was also a big thing in terms of MOF getting 3rd. I believe, let's see. Yeah, beat Gatsu, Akir, Wizrobe. So recently starting to do a little bit better in the Falcon matchup. I think that is still probably a little bit weaker. You don't see a lot of Peaches up here. Is okay at the Puff matchup. I think having a lot of Komodo experience will help you there. Really filling out a lot of these wins here. Been ranked in the top 50, even both summer and full end of year top 50 for 3 years in a row. Looking pretty strong this year so far. A bunch of Pleva wins, really. Nothing too crazy in terms of last 6 months. I don't think went to Genesis. Here, I guess I can just check here. Yeah, I didn't go to Genesis. I think kind of just wanted to farm some locals, which she did farm some locals. Look at all these firsts. I'm very curious to see when MOF will appear again. I think with Nikki not entering as much, Lunar Dust not entering very much. That was a few years ago. Trying to think of other Ice Climbers right now. Not that many. I feel like MOF and Nikki have been definitely the most high profile. I'm sure there's a few, 2 will come occasionally. Let's see if I can find it. Oops, wrong one. PM rank. Oops. Here we are. So, Nikki getting top 12. Slug, of course. I forgot about Slug. Also Crike with the secondary here. So there's actually a fair amount of Ice Climbers. Forgot Slug, my bad. Slug back on the come up. Boyd also doing pretty good. Remember Boyd in the Bananas Michael documentary. Dark Gen X Frostbite. Man, I have a short-term memory, I guess. There's a lot of Ice Climbers that you could potentially run into, and so I think MOF is definitely MOF has gotten upset before, like Zimberfizz, the NC Samus did beat MOF 3-0 at Patchwork. That was one of the bigger upsets I noticed. I think that having Jmook, Crudo, a lot of good Sheiks, like being an Ice Climber main means like, hey, you have a solid chance. And being good against Fox, there's a lot of Foxes. Also against Pikachu, Ice Climbers does pretty well. Peaches, they don't attend as much. Lot and Triff don't attend as much, or is starting to attend more. But yeah, I feel like Ice Climbers is a pretty good character. I mean, Zane did lose to Nikki, did lose to Slug. I'm curious about Zane versus MOF. How many times they have played? Only twice. So I'm curious to see more of these sets. And these are kind of a while ago. Haven't played in the last few years since I think MOF has, I wouldn't say gotten better. I mean, technically gotten better. But I mean, 2024 was a huge breakout in terms of like big results. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of favorable brackets for Ice Climbers. There's a few that's not great, but MOF can make the most of it. Pretty good against Puff, all things considered. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what MOF will do. I think Ice Climbers definitely here to stay.